Hey, what's going on? Thanks for clicking on the video. I know I'm kind of late to the game on this, but I thought I would just hop on and make a video on my thoughts about episode 7 of Peacemaker. I got a bunch of notes here, so I'm just gonna go through them and just like kind of say what I thought. And then at the end of the video, I'll talk about um, it's like ideas and stuff that I have for the future. Uh, Please excuse like the quality of the video. It's gotta do what you gotta do. Phone's not working, so I gotta use like the photo booth video camera. You know. Um, Overall, I thought the episode had really good pacing. It was short, but it packed a punch, and it gave me basically everything that I kind of wanted based off of the setup that they had from the last episode. I liked the bits that they showed of Earth X, and they showed enough to kind of be satisfying this time around, and little enough where it would still be interesting to have characters come back in the future and explore more. I really liked Adebayo and Judo Master's connection, and to me, it just kind of highlighted like something else that I had been thinking about previously, like how Adebayo really is able to connect with everyone around her besides her girlfriend, and I think it's really interesting because she's really she really fits in with every other person besides her. And I thought Judo Master's kind of bluntness towards her and her situation was really interesting. Um, Obviously the dynamic between the two vigilantes was funny. Just also building off of the last episode, and I liked how they like always had each other's back, and they really cared for each other. Um, Obviously the scene where Chris is going through all those moments of death within his family and the people that he loved as his brother is getting ganged up on by his new family basically, and he lets out that scream and begs them to stop. It was really powerful, and it was a really good just like actor's performance from John Cena, especially coming off the back of the last episode too, where him and Harcourt really had a good performance in that scene that they had together, where they were you know letting their true feelings kind of show. I liked the storyline with Rick Flag Senior, Bordeaux, and Sidney Happerson. Bordeaux and Flag Senior just have really good chemistry, and I didn't remember Happerson's character having that accent, but it was funny to me, and I like how just the mention of Lex activated his loyalty and just kind of snapped him into place. Even though when he was questioning, you know, what do I get out of it? I thought it was pretty funny. Um, yeah, the take of Earth X Augie I thought was pretty interesting as well. Um, he was, definitely the complete opposite of how normal Augie would have been to Chris. He was actually understanding and compassionate and like forgiving of the situation that he had gotten in. And he claimed to not be a Nazi and just doing what's in front of him, but he's still kind of complicit in that world because he does have the power to make a change. Um, I did think that Keith would kill him instead of Vigilante just because Keith was building up in anger and frustration throughout that whole scene. But yeah, the way that they executed that was still really funny, and really caught everybody by surprise in that moment. Um, yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the episode. Uh, I'm really excited for episode 8. and I like that it's going to be twice as long, so they have enough time to go into the consequences of everything that's happened so far and kind of set up stuff for the future. And then, speaking of the future of this channel, I'm interested in comics, wrestling, um, food. I mean, anything, whatever. If you guys want to see a video about something, you can just leave it in the comments. I have these two comics that I just picked up, and I could do a review on them. And I was also thinking about getting that big work in progress Absolute Batman. So, if people want to see a review about that, I would gladly go out and buy that and give it a review. But yeah, thank you for watching this video.